Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video, and this is going to be an in-depth guide for two of the better weapons in the game. So West Wind as well as the Plum Sword. These are a little bit more trickier to use, so I wanted to do a guide on it, and they do a lot of damage, of course, so they're very, popular for players to use. So just want to make sure you guys are using them correctly, how to level them up, and basically how to use them when you're fighting bosses or monsters as well. So I'll start off with West Wind just first of all. Now I was lucky enough to get this A5, so I do have all the benefits here down below. Now the wind damage increases only against enemies that are weak to wind, so it doesn't always apply, but everything else does apply, like the stacking of the secret bullets, the cooldown reduction, landing crits, decreases cooldown. So this is all applying with the dupes and advancements there. We can also look at the skills really quickly. Quick note, you want to level these up as much as you can. I like to focus on the secret bullet here. This is kind of the big damage dealer, but you could also level up these two first skills as well. You'll just need these player skill scrolls, which are somewhat hard to get, but you can get them from the exchange shop or just throughout the game. So yeah, definitely look out for that. Sorry. And then moving over to the Plum Sword, kind of similar idea here for the skills. You want to level these up if you can. And then, yeah, in terms of the abilities, it is a little bit tricky. I think the Plum Sword is probably the hardest weapon. I mean, it's not like super difficult to use, but it's definitely not the easiest weapon in the game to use. So basically how the weapon works is it's going to increase crit hit damage by 12%, stacking up to 3 times. So if you do 12 times 3, that's 36% increased crit hit damage, which is really insane. But it does require you to use the Swift Flight skill, and how you use this skill is you'll want to dash and use it at the same time. So it is a little bit tricky just to make sure you pull that off. And then the rest of the advancements down here are basically just going to increase damage, right? So increase dark damage, let's see, this increases crit hit damage again. Let's see, and then there's like cooldown, and yeah, increases more damage. So yeah, definitely Plum Sword is it just looks cool too, right? So I mean, I love the Plum Sword. Definitely they did a good job on the weapons in this game, so shout out to the Netmarble team. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for in terms of looking at the weapons here. Now, like leveling these up, I ran out of material. I need to get some more. I'm like a low spender on my pay to win account, so I have spent a little bit, but not an insane amount. And then I also have a free to play account as well, but I don't have all these weapons, of course, on the free to play. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into a play test. I'm actually going to do an instant dungeon here. So I'm going to do a boss where it's actually not even weak. So the wolves here, whatever you want to call them, it's actually only weak to fire and water. So these actually, it's not getting the full like capability, but it's still going to be strong even without that. So that's what I actually wanted to kind of show you guys in today's video. Yeah, so but I am going to have some help from my hunters and shadows, of course. I'm a little underpowered for this tier 10 fight, but I should be able to do it as long as I don't die. So I just have to dodge well. So I'm going to have to focus up a little bit here. Okay, so I'll start off with some skills. I also like to use Black Hole here. So that kind of groups them up for me to use West Wind. Now the key thing about West Wind that you guys just saw is there is a circle that surrounds West Wind. So if I back up a little bit, you'll want to keep... Oh, that did not hit. You'll want to keep the monsters outside of that circle because that's going to do increased damage. And then I'll use the Plum Sword, so space and C. Okay, he ran away, but you get the idea there. I'll be able to do that a few more times for you guys, so you can see that. So Black Hole, we'll use Plum Sword, a lot of damage output there. Also hits insanely crit. Let's get it jump around a little bit. Okay, we'll use Black Hole, then West Wind, keep him outside the green circle. I don't think that crit right there, I could be wrong. And then we're going to use Plum Sword, space, and C. Now my crit hit damage is going to be increased here. Now we can just kind of pump out the damage. Okay. So I think we're on track here. I'm gonna pull out my ult. This is a trickier fight for me just because, like I said, I'm underpowered and I'm not even using weapons that are like the recommended element. But we're still, just because the weapons are just that strong, we're still doing okay here. Okay, space and C. The auto attacks also just look cool. Plum Sword. Okay, let's dodge that. So we're gonna use Black Hole. Oh, he ran away. The guy. I was trying to wait for him to be able to be hit here. Okay. Kind of running low on time. We're gonna summon our shadows to help out a little bit. Oh, I don't think this is gonna hit. Okay, that's my bad. Sometimes we'll Lycan just likes to jump out of range. That. Okay. We're gonna use that. Use that. Okay, he died. So we're running out of time here, but let's see if we can catch up on the damage department a little bit here. Okay, that did some good damage. Might run out of time here, but it's close. Oh, let's go. Look at that. I think that was 1.8 mil on that last one right there. Holy. Yep, guys. So that's pretty much the battle in a nutshell with those two weapons. I mean, pretty insane. Oh, would you look at that? Okay. We'll be taking those. So pretty insane, like, combination of weapons, especially if you're going to be fighting any enemies that are actually weak to that specific element. So for example, like Egress, in instant dungeons, I'm always using the Plum Sword for that, and either the Scythe or Moon Shadow, whichever you guys prefer. I think the Scythe is probably the better option to go. So I'll show you guys that really quickly. I'm not going to do the play, but let's see, I think I have 1 key left. So what I would do for Egress here is I would go with like the Scythe, I would go with the Plum Sword, and then I would just make sure to switch my abilities to break damage, and of course break damage for your hunters as well. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the video in a nutshell here for Westwind and the Plum Sword. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below in the comments. Feel free to also join our community Discord. I'll link that as well. And yeah, I appreciate all the love and support, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.